think it's a very human thing to fear being abandoned or to feel abandoned, and to be looking for something to counter this perhaps very basic notion of feeling alone. This is something that I think is in the question of, are we alone in the universe? But it's also, of course, I think present in an individual level. Am I alone in the world, or who are my friends? And does anybody really know me, and do I know myself, and so on? So I think this question permeates perhaps all levels of human existence. For this film, I am hired by an intergalactic agency from Alpha Centauri, who's paying me to do this film as a preparation for when they come. No, it's this is an old question of mine, thinking about what would happen what would be the ultimate event for mankind to experience. I've been thinking about this for many, many years, and I can only come up with the encounter with extraterrestrial life, not in the form of bacteria and so on, but real, intelligent, self-conscious life. So it was when I learned that there is something called this UN Office for Outer Space Affairs that I realized that I might be able to do something concrete with it. And simply then proposing that something has arrived here, and try to engage scientists and experts in a direct encounter and just see what happens. So it's a long-standing interest, and I think that the way I find topics is that something resonates within me, and I have a feeling there is something hiding in this, and it simply just spurs my curiosity and imagination. I think you can make yourself available for ideas, and then you might encounter some ideas. It's difficult to come with an idea, but I work in different areas. I mean, also with exhibitions, and I teach in idea development and so on. So I'm very interested in what is an idea. I'm working with a Danish sound designer called Peter Albrechtsen, who's very, very skilled, and I worked with him since my very first film, so for 10 years now. And with a sound designer and sound artist, Øyvind Weingarde, whom I worked with for 20 years now. Basically, I also have a background myself in sound art and so on, so sound is very, very important for me. And I think that the reason why that there may be fear involved in the thought of something else out there, and the fascination about something else out there, has to do with a longing for being seen by something and something superior, and gaining existence from being seen. There is a religious aspect in this, I think, or a similar aspect as you find in religions. But I also think that the fear of the otherness, or the other, or the alien, be it among human beings or be it among an extraterrestrial, also has to do with a suspicion that I think is real, that exists. I think exists a suspicion that maybe the truly alien is within ourselves, because yes, it can be difficult to answer what is a human being. Is it a social construct? Are we the ones who create a culture and so on, which is then again, of course, the most fleeing thing on this planet? I mean, civilizations have come and gone. In many ways, we're sitting, in the remains of a Roman Empire and so on. But there is also who am I as an individual human being? Who am Michael Madsen? That's perhaps an even more difficult question for each and single individual human being to answer. And I think it demands a great courage to try and answer that, or to approach that question or those questions. And as you know, when my next project, which is the last part of this trilogy on mankind, of which Into Eternity and The Visit is the two first ones. The last one is called Odyssey. And Odyssey is a personality test that you can take to see if you would be fit to go on board a generation starship So if we ever were mankind to leave Earth for another planet, the distances in the universe, if you don't believe in wormholes and hypersleep, which doesn't exist, but the real existing concept for such a travel would be a generation starship where people board and have children die, but have born as generations and generations are born. But of course, my argument is for Odyssey is of course that the real space for such a space travel is not deep space, it's the human psyche, the human mind. And if you think that in the concept called, and also another concept in space exploration called out of the cradle, then you would say that man is born on Earth but not meant to die here.